All right, thank you for that, Taylor. And if you're looking to keep the kiddos busy with the new summer reading book this month, Studio 10 has got one for you today. So today I'm going to welcome our local author, Mae D. Shotwell. She's the author of Benjamin's Moon. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And I know this isn't your first time here. This is actually your second book.
It is.
Right? Awesome. How exciting. Well, I know this book sheds a light on foster care and adoption, but tell me a little bit about Ben's story.
So Benjamin is a little boy on his way to his 6th foster family, which in foster care is common. Kids go from one home to the next. So I wanted to kind of highlight the stress and the anxiety of going to a new home and a new school and a new family. So Benjamin goes to his new family and he's a little bit sad, a little bit concerned, and he hears this loud voice outside of his window, and it's the moon. And so the moon teaches him about moon phases and how we all go through phases in life, but no matter what, we are still whole and we're still complete and we are always shining bright.
That's wonderful, and that's a beautiful message to share with children also. But what inspired you to write this book?
So my cousin and her wife have adopted several children out of foster care, and it was kind of a difficult path for them, but they have just grown this beautiful family, and it's inspiring.
That's wonderful. And I know sometimes adoption and foster care, especially for people who aren't familiar so much with that system, it can be a serious or heavy topic for them. But why did you think that was so important to introduce that to children?
I think that there are so many children in our foster care system that they should have something that they can relate to. A lot of children's books are written to relate to everyday child issues or, you know, just normal things in our everyday life, but there's not always stories for the kids who are going through something different.
Is there a favorite part that you have in that book at all?
I have a couple of favorite photos, like the illustrations. I really love the whole story, of course, but my illustrator always adds little details.
Yeah.
Like we call them Easter eggs, little hidden details. And there is a page in there where Benjamin's on his bed reading a book, and the book he's reading is my first book.
What book was that?
Moon Fairies.
Oh, how beautiful. I love that. It's like a full circle moment that you have for that. And that was what I was going to ask you next, because I see that the moon is animated right here. What was that collaboration like with the author? What did you guys talk about when you put that together?
So honestly, my inspiration for both of my books have been things from my childhood. And one of my favorite things from my childhood was Moon, or Luna, from Bear in the Big Blue House. And I loved how she always came and talked to Bear, and that was their night routine, you know, and every night they kind of let their day out and talked, and I loved how the moon had such an impact.
That's awesome, and I like that message of routine as well, especially for a child who has been in foster care. Like you said, this is his 6th family. That's great to try to establish that for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Now, this message, I have to say, this is a book for children. But for parents who want to read this to their children, or even myself, I want to read this to my niece and my nephew, my soon-to-be nephew, pretty soon. But what message do you think adults can walk away with from reading this?
Honestly, the same message, that, you know, we can get so overwhelmed with work and kids and life and trying to balance it all that sometimes we just kind of forget we exist.
Right.
And the moon kind of teaches us that too, that no matter what, we're always somewhere shining bright, even if we don't feel like it or we don't see it. You know, you don't always see the moon, but he's always there.
He's always there, and he's always with us. That's beautiful. Now, if people at home watching want to take this book home for a child they know, how can they do that?
Right now, it is available on Amazon.
On Amazon, perfect. So you just type in Benjamin's Moon, and we have your name down there, Mae D. Shotwell, and then we can all get a book for ourselves. Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Mae, and thank you so much for sharing this, especially with the children at home who, you know, find themselves and see themselves in Benjamin too. That's great. Thank you.